Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel ServiceNow Universe. Hope you all are doing well. Today in this session we'll discuss basics of ServiceNow administration. Okay, so in that first we'll discuss about personal developer instance, how to get the personal developer instance, and then we'll discuss the user interface after we log into the PDI, and then we'll discuss how to create the tables and what are the points we need to keep in mind while creating the tables. Okay, and after we create the tables, we'll see how to configure the list and form layouts. Okay, and how to apply the filters on list layout and all, and how to configure the activity formatter in the form layout, so we can see that as well. Okay, and we'll see how to impersonate the user and what are the changes after impersonation. Okay, and we'll see the list view and form view in the workspace, agent workspace we can say, and we'll see how to install the plugins, and then we'll go and create some catalog items in the service catalog and record we'll create the record producers as well, and then we'll go and configure some notifications, and we'll see about the access controls, access to the tables and fields. We'll see the access controls here, and then we'll see importing the data from an Excel using transform maps, and then we'll see the update sets, and at the end we'll see business rules, client scripts, and UI policies. Okay, now to start learn ServiceNow administration, we must have some environment, right, where we'll try out these all things and we'll learn. So that is nothing but the personal developer instance. Okay, so this is the environment where we will try out whatever we learn here. Okay, now to get the personal developer instance, in short, we call that as PDI. To get the PDI, we'll go to developer.servicenow.com. Okay, and then if you don't have any account here, then please sign up, and after signing up just log in, and then you will get this button here, request instance. Okay, just click on it. Okay, now you will see the different versions of ServiceNow available here, from San Diego to Vancouver. Vancouver is the latest release, so I would suggest to go here and select this Vancouver box and then click on request. Okay, so when we click on request, it will take some time, it will process it, and it will give us the instance. Okay, now our request of getting the ServiceNow Vancouver instance is processed, and our instance is ready. And this processing will not take much time, only 2 to 3 minutes it will take, and we'll be having this instance ready within 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, and now we have been allotted with this instance, and the instance name is dev78222. Okay, and we have been given with the admin credentials. If we click on open instance, this will directly open the instance here, and as we logged into the developer site, it will not ask again the credentials here. Okay, and if you want to change this password, we don't want to keep this password. If you want to change, then we can go here uh, to profile. Okay, and let me just click on that. Okay, and here I have option to change the password. Okay, now I can click on change the password. Okay, and the old password is this, whichever we received while the instance creation. So that password is the old password. Then we can enter the new password with these matching criteria, and then we can click on change password. That will change the password. Okay. Okay, now our next topic is user interface. Okay, now we have received the PDI and we have logged into the PDI. Now we'll see the user interface here. Okay, now when we logged into the instance, we'll see this user interface by default. Okay, now if I go here, we have already checked the profile to change the password. Okay, if we click on profile, then we can change the password. We can reset the password. Okay, and if we go to preferences, okay, now here we can change the theme. Okay, now the default theme is the default one is bright one. Okay, now we can change that to dark one. Okay, if I click on dark, then everything will be the background will be black now. Okay, now let me just check here. Okay, so let me go and open some table. For example, this is incidents table. Okay, so we'll come back here. What is this? So this is incidents table. You can see this is the background is here black. Okay, now if I go back and change the theme to default one, and you can see the background is white, so we can change the theme from here. Okay, this is the theme, and now we'll go to display. Okay, now in the display, we can see put the line breaks in the list. So this is nothing but if let me just remove this. If there is more text here in this column, then do we need to put the line breaks or not? So okay, it is simple thing. So let me go back to display again, and this is the date format of the instance. We can change the date format to anything what we want. Okay, here. And the current the time zone of the instance currently that is set to America or Los Angeles, then we can change it to anything else here. Okay. And here this is important, the current start page is default. Okay, now whenever let me just remove this for example. Whenever I go and open the instance, okay, for example this, so from where we are starting with this App Engine Studio, and let's go from here we are starting, right? So if I change this, let me go to preferences and display and current start page, I'll change it to from where I have left, started from there itself. Okay, so if I select this, okay, now I'll remove this. Now where I have left, I'm left with incident table, right? So if I go here and if I refresh the page, so I'll be landed to incidents page. Okay, instead of going to that App Engine Studio page, so I'll be landed to incident page because I was left last there itself. So if I open this incident, so this is the form view. So now I'm accessing the form view, right? So if I go and try to open the instance again, let me remove this. Okay, now I'll be landed on the incident form because I was working on this incident previously. Okay, so it's that setting. So let me just go back in the preferences, display, and if I change it back to the default, then it will again go to App Engine Studio. So let me just show that. So our instance name is 78222. Okay, now you see it came to this page. Okay, it is not going to incident now. Okay, because we have changed the preferences. So let me go back to preferences again, display. So here yeah, we can see some other options here. Okay, now always show top navigation. Okay, for example let me go to incidents here, incidents. Okay, and if I control click on this, if I click control click, then it will open a new tab. Okay, now we cannot see the navigation here, the top navigation, this all favorite history admin, so these are all not available here. So if you want that, then what we can do is we can just simply check this, always show the top navigation. So on the new tab as well it will be shown. Okay, now we can see we are on new tab, but then also we are able to see the top navigation. So if you don't want, then we'll just hide it. That will be visible only on the first page. Okay, now I think I need to open this. Yeah, you see we don't see it now here. Okay, so it's about that. uh, yeah, so let me just close this. For now we'll see only these two preferences, these are important, these are we can ignore this for now. Okay. Okay, now in this section we have already discussed profile and preferences. Now impersonate user is there. We'll discuss that while we discuss the user impersonation module. And the next one is elevate roles that we'll discuss during the access controls module. Okay. And now we have printer friendly version here. So if I click on that, a new tab will open and it will prepare the page for printing. Okay. And we can just click on print so that we can print this page. Okay. The page looks like this. Yeah. So now let me just remove, and other than that we have option to log out from here. Okay. Okay, now if I click on this ServiceNow logo here, then it will open me the landing page here. Okay, and we have options here called all, favorite, history, admin, and if I go to this, then we have different workspaces we'll see in the workspaces module. Okay, we have the workspaces module here. Okay. Okay, now let me go to all. So if I go to all, then I'll be able to see all the application menus here. Okay, as I'm admin, I'll be able to see all the application menus. Okay, there is a long list here. But if the non-admin user logs in, then he'll not be able to see all of this. He'll be able to see only which that user can access based on his role. Okay. Okay, now let me impersonate a user here. Okay, now we'll go to the profile and we'll click on impersonate user. Only the users with admin role or impersonator role can have this access, impersonate user. And once we click on the impersonate user, we'll see this and we need to search the user here. So currently we'll just click on able tutor and we'll click on impersonate user. Okay. Now the page reloads, and now as if I am logged in as able tutor here. Okay, because I have impersonated as able tutor. Now let's see how many options we'll see here in the navigation. You see, we have only less options here. Okay, because the role of the able tutor is not admin role. Okay, now let me end the impersonation. So here, when I'm impersonating a user, then I get two options: end impersonation and impersonate another user. If I want to impersonate another user, then I'll go here and again follow the same procedure. If I want to end impersonation, then I can end impersonation. Now I'll be logged in as the system admin again. Okay, now how we can check what role the able tutor have? Okay, let me go to users table then. Okay, so if I type in users here in the filter navigator, then under the user administrations menu we have this module called users. Okay, let me just open that. Okay, now here we have all the user records. Okay, we'll see by creating a new user as well, but let me just open the able tutor record here. Okay, and to check the role, we just need to scroll down to the bottom, and here there is a roles tab. Okay, we can see here there is no role to able tutor. Okay, now I can give the roles here. Okay, now let me just click on edit. If I want to give admin role, okay, then I'll just select the admin role from here. Okay, admin. Okay, now I'll take that to the right side, and I'll just click on save. Okay, now the admin role is added. Okay, these all roles are inherited. Okay, if I remove inherited, okay, filter out. If I right click on that, uh, inherited true, then if I filter out, then inherited true will be removed, and we can see only inherited false. So only we have given this admin role to able tutor. The other roles are inherited. Okay, from the admin role. Okay, now if we go here and if we impersonate back with able tutor, now this time it has stored here the recent impersonations. So I'll just select able tutor and I'll just click on impersonate user. Okay. Now if we go to this list, the navigation list, then we can see the full list here. Okay. Whatever system administrator can see. Earlier he used to see only less uh, menus here, but now he can see more menus. Okay, because able tutor is also administrator now. Okay. Now let me just end the impersonation. Now, if we want to create a new user and share the credentials with with that new user, then how we can do is, let me go to users list again. I'll just click on back. Yeah, users list. I'll click on new. I want to create the new user here, for example. So I'll say Yuvraj Singh, for example. Yuvraj dot Singh. Okay, this is the user ID. Okay, and here we have to provide the name. Okay, and we have to provide the email ID here. Okay, so I'll say and apc.com. Okay, now let me just save this. Okay, okay, now this is the user ID of that user. Okay, now what should be the password, right? So if I go here, if I click on set password, I have to go and click on set password. Now I have to generate the password for that user. So I'll click on generate password. Now I can see that password. This is the generated password. Okay. Now I can copy this because I want to share that with that user. That's why I have to copy that, and I will save this. Okay. Yeah, the password is saved. And what I here this password needs to reset is checked automatically. What it means is when this person logs in for the first time uh, with this new password, he'll be able to change the password. Okay, he'll change the password to the new one which he wants. Then he can use that new password. Okay. Okay, now we have created the user and we have user ID and password to share with that user. Now we have to provide the role to that user, right? So we can go to roles related list here and we can click on edit. Okay, this is one way of giving the role to the user. Okay, now I'll say admin. Well, I want to give to that user and I'll say save here. Okay. So we can see the admin role is given to this user. Okay, all the other roles are inherited. All the 27 other roles are inherited, and admin role is given to this user. But there's one more way to give the roles. That is the best recommended way. Okay. Now let's remove this. I'll just remove this. Okay. Let me close this, and we don't have any role to this user. The best way is to create a group and then give the role to that group and add this user as part of that group. Okay, now let me click on new so that I can create a new group here. Okay, I'll say service now admins. Okay, so I'll just save this. Okay. Here we can see as I created a new group from the user record there, so this user has already added as a member to that group. Okay, and if I open this user, we still don't have any role here. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll give the uh, role to the group, and when I save this, okay, automatically all the members in this group will have the access. Okay, now let me just go here and refresh this. If I click on this, right, it will get refreshed. Okay, now the role has been assigned to this user. Okay, and through group. Okay, now if you want to add any group, for example, if there are 10 users in this group, 10 members in this group, then we want to assign all the 10 members a new role, then we don't need to go to each user's user record and add the roles there. We can go to this group and we can add the new role to the group, and that will take care of adding the role to all the users. Okay, the next thing we'll discuss is about the tables. Okay, everything in ServiceNow is stored in the tables itself. So we'll see the tables now. Okay, now if I go to the instance, if I type in here tables, okay, uh, in system definition we'll see a module called tables. Okay, when I open that, okay, okay, the table, this is the tables table where all the tables are stored. Okay, sys underscore db underscore object is its technical name, and here all the tables are stored. For example, we just saw the user table, right? So if I write here user, okay, we can see the user table is stored here. Not this one, sorry. Okay, its technical name is sys underscore user. Okay, this is the user table which is stored here. Okay, now if I open this, okay, so we can see the label is user and its technical name is sys underscore user. Okay, and it is present in the application, that is global application, and the columns present in here. Okay, so we have set user ID, right? So if I search here, this is how we can search. If we click on this search icon, we'll get the option to search here. So I'll search user ID. So we have set this field, right, user ID, and we have set first name and last name as well. Okay, first name and last name, so those are stored here. Okay, now we, if I open this first name field, we can create new one by clicking new here. Okay, we'll create a table, by the way. So we can see here the table is user table. The type of this field is string type. Okay, and this is the column label, and this is the technical name of that column. Okay, first underscore name. Okay, so let me just go back. Okay, let me go back from here as well, and let me create a new table. Okay, and this is sys underscore db underscore object is the tables table, right? So what I can do is I can just copy, I can access the table in one more way, the list view of the table. I can just type in the technical name here, sys underscore db underscore object dot list. Okay, if I write it in small, then it will open in this same tab. Okay, and if I write it in capital dot list, then it will open it in a new tab. Okay, so this is also a way we can access if we know the technical name directly and there is no module present for that in this filter navigator, then we can use dot list to open the table. Okay, Now we'll go here and create a new table. Just click on new. Okay. Okay. Now let's give the name. I'll say ServiceNow Universe YouTube videos. Okay. Just a random example. So when I give the label, right, it will populate the name automatically. Okay. When we are in global application, it will start with u underscore. The name of the table starts with u underscore. If we are in some custom application, then the scope of the custom application will be added here initially. Okay. Scope of the custom application underscore and then the table name here. Okay. Now this u underscore, we cannot change that. We should keep it as is, but this part we can change this. ServiceNow universe YT videos is there, right? That part we can change. If I don't want to write full ServiceNow here, then I can change it. Okay. So universe videos. Now here extends table is there. If I want to extend it from any other table, for example, if I want to keep any other table as a parent table, currently we'll not do that, but we'll create it later. Okay. Now here it is providing me an option to create the module. Okay, modules are visible here, and we discussed here. This is application menu, and we can create the module here. So while creating the table, it is asking me whether we should put this in the filter navigator here. Filter navigator. So we'll say yes. Okay, create module, and ignore this create mobile module. Now it is asking what should be the menu name. Okay, so the new menu name will be this. Okay, or it is asking you if you want to put it in any existing menu. Okay, for example, self service will be here. Okay, there is self service, so this is the self service. If you want to put it under this, then we have to select the self service here. Otherwise we can keep it as create new, and we should give the name of that here, service new universe YT videos. Okay, so yeah, I'll keep this as ServiceNow Universe YT videos here. Okay. Now, so while creating the table, we should be careful to include this or not. Okay. If we don't want the module, then we should uncheck this. Okay. If you want the module, then we should check this, and we should add it to proper menu, application menu. If you want to create a new one, then we should keep it. So we should take care of this. Okay. And we should be careful in keeping the name of the table, because once it is created, we cannot change the name of that table. We can change the label, by the way, but we cannot change the name. Okay, so let me just save this. Yeah, let it save. So you see, once it is saved, this becomes read only. We cannot change the technical name. Okay, we can change the label, by the way, but we cannot change the technical name. Now if we go here, if we refresh this page, and if I go to filter navigator, yeah, if I type in service now, you see ServiceNow Universe YT videos is added here as application menu, and the label module is also added by the same name, by the name of the table. Okay. Now when I click this, it opens that table. Okay. So we'll see how it is created. Okay. So let me go here again. Now the fields added here, the by default, these are the fields added. Okay. Now we have column label here. Now we can click on this gear icon. Okay, we call this as personalized. We'll discuss this more when we discuss the list views. So if I click on this, it will show me all the fields in that table. So I'll add column name. Okay. Okay, so let it reload. So now here we can see these six fields are added, and you can see the column name here that starts with sys underscore. Okay, so the fields which are starts with sys underscore are added by ServiceNow itself. Okay, these are system fields. Okay, this is created by, this is to check who has created the record when it is created, and the unique identifier, sys ID is the unique identifier, 32 character unique identifier. Updates, how many times we have updated the record, and updated by who has updated it, who has when it is updated. Okay, these are the six fields added by ServiceNow. Okay, now if we go to our table here, if I click on this personalize, okay, so I can see these fields here. Okay, now let me add these fields. Tags, let's ignore that for now, we can see that later. So 5 fields are shown here, but the sysid is not shown. Okay, because sysid we don't want to see that in the list view, but I'll let you know how to copy the sysid. Okay, now this gives us the information regarding uh, uh, the created by and updated by, and how many times we have updated that. But we want to add some new fields here, right? What topic is about that video? Okay, the video's topic, so we'll add a new field here. Okay, so I can add directly from the list view like this. Let me just add one here. Topic, I'll say topic short description, for example, or else just short description. Okay, now initially while creating, if I want to change the column name, then we can keep any column name here. Okay, but once the record is created, then we cannot change the column name. Okay, so I'll say short desk. Okay, and I'll say this as the type is string. Okay, I'll say that as a string type. Okay, now I'll just right click on, say, we call this as embedded list. When the list is included within the form, that is called as embedded list. This is embedded list. And when the list is below the form, that is related list. Okay, so when we add some record in the embedded list, okay, that time we don't need to we add it in the embedded list, we need to save the record. When we add it to the related list, we don't need to save the record. Okay, it will be saved automatically. So now I need to save this. Okay, so when I save this, yeah, this field is added here. And if I go and refresh this page, okay, we don't have that here. So I'll just click on personalize again, gear icon, and I can see that here. I'll add that field, and I want to see that on top. Okay, the short description is here. Okay, now let me just create a new record. I'll say service portal. Might be service portal is the topic. Okay, I'll submit this. Let me go back to list view. Okay, we can see the list view here. So we can see the created time is just now. Who has created? Admin user has created. Updated time is just now. Okay, and who has updated? Admin has updated. Updates 0 because we have not yet updated that. Okay, now let me open it. Okay, let me add something to this, and let me save this now. Okay, and if I refresh this, if I click on all, it gets refreshed. Okay, now you see the time has changed. Created time is 4:57:35 and updated time is 4:58:04. Okay, and you see updates count is changed to 1. Okay, and if I update it again, updates count will change now. Okay, updates count will change, that is 2. Okay. Okay, here we have this personalized icon, that is the gear icon. When we add the fields to the list view using that personalized icon, these fields added are visible to only me, the person who has added that. Okay, because this is personalization. Okay, and to check that, let me just go here and impersonate with able tutor. Okay, able tutor is also the system admin. He should have access to that table. Okay, so if I refresh this page now we have impersonated with able tutor. If I refresh the page, you see those all fields are removed. Only created field is remaining here. Okay, and able tutor can create his own personal view here by adding the fields in the list view. Okay, now if you want not only the created, we want the short description also to be visible to all the users. Then what we can do is, let me just end impersonation. Okay, and now if I refresh again, this is the system administrator is logged in now, so he can be able to see because he has personalized that. Right now we want the short description and created by field should be visible to all the users who have access to this table. If you want that, then what we can do is we can just click on these 3 dots. We can go to configure and list layout. Okay, so we need to configure the list layout. Now here we can add the fields like short description and created by. So we can change the order however we want, and I'll just save this. Okay. Now, when I do that, here we can see because I have personalized, that will take precedence. Okay. The fields added to the list layout are not taking precedence. The fields added to the personalized list are taking precedence. Now, to remove that, we can click on this gear icon again, and here we have the button called reset to column defaults. So when I do that, it will show me the list layout. Okay, the list layout which I have added by configuring it. Okay, now let me I can configure, I can personalize it again. Okay, just I'll add updated field. Now I'll impersonate back with able tutor. Okay, able tutor, and if I refresh this field now, this page now, now we can see these three fields here. Okay, now whoever have access to this table will see these three fields available in here. Okay, so that is the difference between personalization and configuring the list layout. Okay, so now, and let me end the impersonation. Okay, now let me go back to the table record again here. Okay, now we have this name, right? We can copy this name to access the table, this table. We can just go to filter navigator. Again, we can use dot list. Okay, so dot list will open the list view. Okay, now if I do dot form, okay, now that will open the new form of that table. Okay, if I write the dot form in capital, then that will open the new form in the new tab. Okay. Okay, now let me go back to the table record again. Now here we need to see this control section. Okay, this is very, very important because first we discussed, right? We need to check whether the modules are not needed or not needed, and to which application we need to add that module. Okay, and we need to check the table name bus because we cannot change that again. Okay, the same way there is one more point to be considered here to see this role here. Okay, now brand new role is created here. Okay, you can see with the table name underscore user is the role, a new role created here. Okay, but we don't want it to have the new role here. We can use the existing role also. Okay, so this role is stored in the roles table. If we go here and type roles, okay, under user administration, we can open the roles. Okay, and if I go here, let me add created field because that is recently created, right? So what I can do is I can just go and I can add created, and if I just click on this, this will be automatically sorted Z to A. Okay, or else I can click on these three icons and I can click on sort A to Z or sort Z to A. Okay, now sort Z to A, this is the latest one which is created here. Okay, but I don't wanted this role to be created. Okay, so what I can do is I want to give access to admins only. So what I can do is I'll just replace this admin. Okay, I don't wanted that role to be created. Okay, just click on OK. I'll explain what is that later. And now admin have access to this table. Okay, earlier that new role had access to that the table, but now admin have access to this table. Okay, the user with the admin role only can access this table. Let me just save this, and I don't want this record, right now role record unnecessarily. This is an extra record added to the roles table, so I'll delete this. I can delete from list view like this. I'll just check this record. I'll go to the options here. I'll see the delete icon, delete button. I'll just click on delete. Okay. Okay, now we have discussed the tables. Okay, how to add the table, how to go to the list view. So we have seen the list view as well. Okay, list layout and personalized list view and configuring the list view. Now let's see the list form layout. Okay, now I'll go to this table. Okay, now I can see. Let me just click on new. I'll see the form here. Okay, I have only one field, so let me add one more field. Let me go to the table record, go to columns. So let me just add it by new button now. Okay, just click on new. Okay, it will ask me which type of field I want. So currently I'll add string type field itself. Okay, string, and I'll set description. The column name gets populated automatically. Okay, and I'll add max length as 2000, for example, because this is uh, string. This is description type field. So I can make that read only. I can make that mandatory. I can make that display field. I can make that function field as well. So uh, you can write some function here, okay, script here. So we don't cover that here. But if you make read only, then nobody have access to write to that field. Okay, if you make it mandatory, let me make that mandatory. Okay, and let me just save this. Okay, now if I go to this, and if I refresh this page, okay, now we can see the fields are added one below other. Okay, if for example, if we have 10 fields, then the fields are added one below other, right? Okay, so we can add that in a structured order. Okay, I can click on I can right click on the header, go to configure, and then form layout. Okay, now we can see here we have all the fields, okay, which are present here. um, Ignore the activities filter for now, these all. So we can add the splits here. So what I'll say, begin split and split here, okay, and add the end split here. Now let me just save this. Okay, so what happens is I started the split from a short description field before, and I splitted it here. So the description field which was getting added below is split. It got space on the right side, then it is added to the right side. Okay, now in this way we can add the we can change the form layout. Okay, now we have only two fields, but if there are many fields, then we can adjust it using this form layout. Okay, okay. Now let me add activities filtered as well. Okay, save this. Okay, now here what happens is if there are any changes to short description and description field, that gets captured here. Okay, now let me just click on this, and I can click on configure available fields, and these all fields are here. Okay, let me just save that. Okay, now we see the short description field has changed as service portal 2, so that is visible here. Okay. Okay, now let me just change this back to 3, service portal 3, and let me save it. Okay, now I need to add the description. Add description is mandatory. Let me just save this now. Okay, now I can see here the short description is changed from service portal 2 to service portal 3, and the description is testing. Okay, now if I change the description here, then that is also gets captured here. This is activities. Okay, now if I don't want description to be captured here, then what I can do is I can just simply go here, and I can just uncheck this. Okay, so description is removed from the activities. Okay, and uh, okay, now yeah, now this attachments, I can attach the records here. I can attach the files here to this record. For example, the service portal video, if I want to attach here, then I can attach the video here, and that attached video will be attached file will be available in the activities as well. Okay. Now, if we click on this attachment icon, we'll get option to attach here. Okay, we can choose the file that gets attached here. Okay, so this is about form layout, and we can change the form layout in one more way, that is configure. Earlier we have used this form layout, right? Now we can use the form design. Okay, so let me just open this. Okay, now we see here the short description and description are added like this. So I can just drag this and drop it wherever I want. Okay, I'll I'll drop this here. Okay, and let me just save this. Okay, now if I go and refresh this, you see it has changed. So we can change the form layout using form design as well. Okay, now I can drop the created field here as well. Okay, now let me save it again. Now refresh, and we got the created field here. Okay, so in this way we can design the form. Okay, so this is also important when we are creating the table. So while creating the table, the important things are: first is the name of the table, the second is modules, and third is the role which we add to the table, and fourth is the list view. We need to configure the list layout so that all the users get the useful information in the list view. And fourth is the form configuration. The form should look good here. Okay, we can configure the form using form design and form layout. Okay. Okay, now let's go to the topics list. Now we have discussed PDI, user interface, tables, list and form layouts, and we have discussed the user impersonation as well. Okay, now as we are discussing about the tables, let's go to access controls first, and then we'll come back to workspace. Okay, let's go to the table record again. Okay, this is the table record which we created, right? So when the new table is created, that time we get the four access controls automatically gets created here. Okay, and that too when let me go to controls section. Here there is a checkbox called create access controls. If it is checked, okay, and it will use this role, whatever role we add it here, that role will be used to create the access controls. Okay, now there are four access controls get created. One is create, delete, read and write. Okay, so if I open any one of them, okay, okay. Now as admin, we don't have access here. Okay, because these are access controls, so we must have security admin role. Okay, now to get the access, we must elevate the role. In the profile section, we should click on this elevate role. Okay, and we should check this security admin and just click on update. Okay, let it reload. Okay, now if I go and refresh the page, I'll get access to this access control record. Okay, now I get these fields are editable. Okay, okay, now we got access to this record. The fields are editable, and here this is the create type of ACL. Okay, and here we have added the table in the name. Okay, first drop down is table and second drop down is field, but this is table level ACL. There are two types of ACLs: one is table level, one is field level. So when it is table level, it gives access to the table. When it is field level, it gives access to the field. Okay, so here we have added table, but we have not added the field here. So it is the table level is access control. Okay, now if we add some field here, for example short description, then it means the create while we are creating the short description field can be updated only by admin. Okay, but we have not done it like this. So let's consider for now, when we create the table, four ACLs are added: create, delete, read and write. Okay, for all the ACLs, let me open the other. Okay, for all the ACLs, the requires role added is from the control section. Okay, earlier that was added like the user table name underscore user was there, right? So earlier it was that it was added here in this requires role section. But when we changed it and we clicked on OK, so that time it updated the ACLs as well, and it changed the role from that custom role to this admin role here. Okay, now in the delete operation as well, the admin role is added here. Now we can change the roles in these ACLs based on the requirement. Okay, now these ACLs can be accessed using the module here. If we type in ACL, okay, if we scroll down, then in the system security we have access control, and here, so if I open that, ACLs table will open. Okay, now I can again sort by updated. Okay, so we see the four which are created for our table are on the top here. Okay, now, if I want to give a security admin role to able tutor, for example, let me just impersonate. And now we can notice here I have got the new button. Okay, because I have access, security admin access. Now, if I impersonate user able tutor, and if I refresh the page now, able tutor is admin, but then also uh, he don't have access to create the access controls, and he don't have access to write or update to the existing access controls. Okay, now we want to give able tutor the security admin role, right? So what we can do is, let me just end impersonation. Okay, okay, now let me go to users records, users, users able tutor. Let me open the record. Now we want to give him the security admin role. Okay, if I scroll down and if I search in the roles here, okay, okay, security admin. So I'm not able to see the security admin role here because uh, I must elevate myself first to give someone else security admin role. Okay, so I'll just do security admin. I'll just elevate role and I'll just elevate myself to security admin. Now I'll refresh this. Okay, and now I'll search for security admin. So I got the security admin role here now. Okay, now I'll just save this. Okay, now I have provided security admin role to able tutor. Now able tutor can also create the ACLs. Okay. Okay, now this is basics about access controls. In access controls, we can do much more. We can add the script, we can add the condition, we can add the roles. Okay, so we can do much more here. We can add field level ACLs. We can add ACLs on the script include. We can add the ACLs on the UI page. We can add the ACLs on the REST endpoint. But as a beginner, we don't need that for now. We can cover that in the later videos. Okay. Now, if we go to the this list navigator here, we have favorites and history here. So if I click on the history, then here we can see the history which I opened last. I opened able tutor user recorded, so that is visible here. Okay. Now, if I go to favorites, we don't have anything here other than home. But what I can do is I can add the favorites here. Now, let me just go here. Service now. Yeah, this one. So I can just click on this to add it as favorite. Okay. Now I'll just say done. Now, when I go to favorites, I can see that list here. If I click on that, the list view will be opened. Okay. Now, let me just go back here again. Okay. Now, here, this is the application menu, right? I said application menu. So let me go to application menu table, application menu. Okay, so under system definition I have application menus. If I want to create the menu here, then we need to go to this table, application menus. Okay, now I'll just search for ServiceNow, the one which we have created from the while we are creating the table. Okay, now this is the one. Let me just open this. Okay, so now this is the application menu and this is the module under that. Okay, so if we see here, ServiceNow. So this is the application menu and the module is this. Okay. Now if I want to change this, I want to change this to only ServiceNow Universe. Okay. I'll just save this. Okay. Okay. Now let me refresh the page here. Okay. And if I type in a ServiceNow, so I can see this has application menu name has changed. Okay, we have kept it as ServiceNow Universe, and that has been changed as ServiceNow Universe here. Okay, now I can edit the application menu from here as well. We have the edit icon. So if I click on that, so the same record gets opened here, application menu. Okay, now if I want to change the module, so I can open it from here. Okay, and I'll say only YT videos because ServiceNow Universe is there in the okay, let me just do that. ServiceNow Universe is there in the application menu name. So I'll just say the module is YT videos. Okay. Now let me go back again here. Okay. It is not yet changed. Let me just refresh it. Okay. Now let me just go in here and type service now. Okay. Now we can see here the ServiceNow Universe, and under that we have YT videos. Okay. If I click on that, it will open me the list view. Okay, so if I can edit the module from here as well, so if I click on that, this module is open. Now if there are multiple modules, then the order comes into picture. If there are two or three modules, then lowest priority, lowest order will be visible first, and then the highest one will be visible next. Okay, now here the link type, there are multiple options here. Okay, so if we want to show the table, then we can show list of records and which table, and we can add the filters here. Only active ones we need to show, or only closed ones we need to show, so that filter we can add it here. And in which window we need to open, that also we can add. If I add here underscore blank, okay, and if I save this, okay, now let me refresh this again. Okay, now service now universe. Okay, if I click on this, this will open it in a new tab. Okay, because I have added the window name as underscore blank. Underscore blank means a new tab. Okay, so we have covered favorites and history. Now next is admin. So if I click on here, then there is admin home. When we click on that, it opens a dashboard here. Okay, so it will take some time, so let it open. Once we discuss this admin home, then we'll go to workspaces. Okay, our next topic is workspaces here. Okay, so let's wait. Okay, the dashboard is loaded here, and we can see here the open incidents. Those are active incidents here. The currently there are no as this is PDI. This is a brand new PDF, so we don't have any data here. So that is why no data available here. Basically, it shows us the tickets, incidents, the requested items, and here this is problems. Okay, and here change request it is showing. Okay, now it is showing the P1 incident, priority one incidents. Okay, basically this is the dashboard, okay, which shows different types of tickets here. Okay, and this is hardening and compliance, we can ignore for this. Our instance is 85% compliant. Okay, 85% secure we can say, so we can ignore this for now. So here it just shows us different types of reports here. Okay, so yeah, we can ignore this adoption blueprints for now. This is not needed for entry level. So this is about admin home. Okay, now let's check the workspaces. Okay, now workspace is a different view where we get everything in a same browser tab. Okay, now let me just go here and just click on these three dots. These are the workspaces, different workspaces we have here out of the box. So let me just click on service operations workspace. Okay, now this is open. We can see we are in only one browser tab. Now we have home here. In this home, we are seeing this dashboard. Okay, as we don't have any data in this, so we are not able to see this. Incidents assigned to you, so incidents assigned to me are shown here. So here I can just click on list. Okay, now the different lists will open here. Okay, different tables, basically the interactions, requests. So if I click on requests here, the request gets opened here. Okay, and let me go here. We have incidents, we have opened the incidents in the native UI as well by going here. So if I search for incident, okay, so I can open the list of incidents. This is the native UI. Okay, now this is the workspace UI. Okay, and let me just click on incidents. Okay, so incident list view is open, and if I want to click uh, on, if I want to open any one, then I have opened that, and that is visible in the same browser tab. We don't need to go to multiple browser tabs. In the same browser tab it is open, and if I want to go to list again, so I can go here. Okay, so this is very useful, because on the same browser tab we can navigate between the form and list, and much more actually. Okay, now here if we want to do that in the native UI, then if I open it in a new tab, a new browser tab will open, and we need to switch between multiple tabs. Okay, so agent workspace provides us this best UI here, where everything can be accessible in the same tab. Okay, now if I want the request, okay, let me just click on requests. Okay, so if I want the request also to be open, so you can see here incident is open here. Now I can open the RITM as well here. Okay, okay, so in so this is how agent this workspace is useful. Okay, now let's see how we can install the plugins here. Okay, let me go to filter navigator and just type in plugins. Okay, so we'll see this plugins module here under system definition. If I click on this, it will open the application manager page. Okay, in the previous versions it used to open the list of applications. Okay, the UI is better here, the performance has improved. Okay, I have made one separate video on this, you can watch that. Okay, now here we can search for the plugins here. So let me search for one plugin called access analyzer. This is new in Vancure release. Okay, so when I search that, it is visible here. Okay, and I can just click on that. I can click on install to install it. Okay, so I'll just click on install. Okay, uh, if we click on run in background, then we can access the different things. Then this will run, the installation runs in background. Okay, so this is how we can access the we can install the plugins from plugins page. Okay, this application manager page. Now there are some plugins which we need to install from the developer side. Okay, so for that what we need to do is we need to go to developer.servicenow.com. Okay, and there is a module called activate plugin. Just click on that. It will show us the list of plugins here. Okay, for example, software asset management is the plugin which is available here. Okay, so here we can see software asset management plugins are available, so we can activate it from here by clicking on activate plugin or activate plugin with demo data. Okay, so this is how we can activate the plugins here. And some plugins we need to request from ServiceNow. So for that we must have request to we must have access to Hi portal. Okay, there is one website called hi.servicenow.com, so we must have access to that. For PDIs we cannot have that access. So the plugins can be requested from there as well. Okay. Okay, now let's see service catalog. Okay, let me go to filter navigator and just type in here, it's called service catalog. Okay, under self-service, I see one option here, that module called service catalog. If I click on that, the catalog opens here. Okay, now service catalog is for requesting the things. Okay, so if I want to request some hardware, then I'll go to hardware section. If I want to request some software, software section. Okay, desktop, mobile, so different sections are here, so I can access any one of them. So let me just go and click on hardware. Okay, there are different items in it. Okay, there are different items to be we can request different items here. Okay, now I'll just say standard laptop. Okay, now what is the standard laptop? That is Lenovo Carbon X1. These are all defined in the backend. I'll show you that table as well. Okay, now what optional software we want? So I'll just say both softwares we want. We can add some condition here. This is not mandatory additional software requirements, so we can just leave it as is. How many quantities we want that, so we can define that quantity here. Okay, now I'll order it. Okay, so once I order, what will happen is when we order the catalog item, it will create in backend the request it will create, and the requested item it will create, and catalog tasks it will create. Okay, let me just open the request. This is the request that is opened, and the table is, if I want to access that, it is sc underscore request dot list. Let me do that. So here we can see the latest one that is created is this 1001, and we have opened that here already, 1001. Okay, now under that we can see requested items. Okay, requested item is there, and what we have requested, standard laptop, it is added here. Okay, now, under the requested item, if there are any tasks to be performed, okay, before approving this request, if there is any task to be performed before completing this request, then those tasks can be added here in the catalog tasks. Okay, but by default, request and requested item gets created. Okay, so here the approval is requested. Okay, approval is added here. As I'm system admin, approval is sent to this person. Okay, now when we submit the request, right, so that time there is a backend workflow it is running, and that has triggered the work uh, this approval. Okay, now let's go and check the standard laptop uh, catalog item. Okay, now for that what we need to do is, again we need to type service catalog. Okay, and here in the, let me just scroll down. Mm, let me just check it where it is. Okay, here it is, maintain items. Okay, under catalog definitions we have maintain items, so let me just open that maintain items. And here I'll search for standard laptop. Standard. Okay, standard laptop. Okay, you see standard laptop is there, and that is Lenovo Carbon X1. Okay, now if I open this, and let me just go back. Okay, so we can see this information here, right? So that information is added in the description here. Okay, let it load. Okay, now we saw that in the hardware section, right? So that is added here. Okay, and the catalog we searched it in the service catalog. So service catalog is added, and the category is also added here. Okay, now the description which we see there, X1 Carbon till this keyboard. So here we see this, right? So this is added as a description there. Okay, that is the description, and the short description is this, and that short description is visible on top here. Okay, now this is the field, optional software is the field which is added. If I scroll down here, it is added here. You can see optional software is the label. This label, this is the label, optional software. Okay, and these are the two check boxes added here. Okay, let me go here. You see we have two check boxes, Adobe Acrobat and Adobe Photoshop. These are the checkbox fields. Okay, now we have added one more field, that is multi-line text, that is additional software requirements. Okay, that is additional software requirements. Okay, so this is how it is created here. Now if we scroll up a bit, here we have option called process engine. Okay, in this we have a workflow here. Okay, service catalog item request. If I click on this, a workflow will open here. We can attach the flow as well. Using flow designer we can attach the flow as well. Okay, and we'll see that later. And this is the workflow attached with the standard laptop, and that has generated the approval. Okay, if we see, once the request is submitted, this workflow gets triggered, and the first activity itself is the approval activity, and it is sending the approval to user, and who is that? Department head. Okay, and let's open this. Okay, so it is sending to the requested for who is requesting, his department's head. It is sending. Okay, so requested for person, his department, and the department head of his department. The approval is sent to. Okay, so let's go here. This is the request, and requested for person is system administrator. So let me just open system administrator record. If I double click on this eye icon, then it will open the record in the new tab. Okay, and the department is finance. Okay, now let me just double click again. Okay, and the department head is Natasha Ingram, right? So if I go here and see the approver, the approver is Eric here, not Natasha. So let's check that. Here we have a option to see the workflow, which workflow has triggered. So if I click on show workflow, and it will show me the status where it is stopping. Okay, so it has begun, it has set the values, and it has finished the if condition, and then it has sent for approval. Okay, so here it is sending the approval to the catalog request approvers. Okay, and the workflow is this service catalog request. So let me just go here to the previous workflow, service catalog item request. So if we click on this settings icon and go to properties, we'll see this is attached to requested item table. Okay, and here the approval is generated, that is on request table. Okay, so on request table the workflow triggered is that service catalog request. So let me just go here, workflow, to a workflow editor. Okay, and I'll just open workflow editor, and I can search the workflow here, that is service catalog request, this one. Okay, and if I go to properties here in this one, so we can see this is triggered on a request table. Okay, and this is triggered to this group catalog request approvals. Okay, so if I open this, this is approval group activity, and yeah, and this group has received the approval. So let me just go to groups table. So if I type in here groups and scroll down to the bottom under user administration, I have groups module. If I open that and search for this, I have one group here called catalog request approvals greater than $1,000. So if I open this, and we can see there is only one member, and that member is Eric. Okay, that's why the approval is triggered to Eric. Okay, now as I am system administrator, I can just right click on this and I can approve, or I can just open this record. Okay, and approve or reject from here. But if Eric want to do that, then for testing purpose, what we can do is we can impersonate with Eric and we can approve the request. Okay, but for now, what I'll do is I'll just directly click on approve here. As I'm system administrator, I can do that. Okay, and now if I refresh this, the status is changed to approved. Okay, now let me just refresh the page, and the approval request is approved and request state is also approved. Now let's go to RITM and see if any changes happened. Okay, okay, now we see here the stage is department head approval. Okay, now once the workflow on the request is completed, the RITM workflow is triggered. Now this workflow is triggered. Where is that? This one. This workflow is triggered. Now the approval is sent to department head of the requested for user. Okay, so if I just click on show workflow here on the RITM requested item, we call in short that as RITM. Okay, now the approval is triggered to whom? The department head. Okay, so we can see the approver, it should be Natasha. Okay, it should be Natasha Ingram here. Okay, now again I'll approve that. Okay, now we can see it is stopping here the flow. If I refresh this, because we have approved, it will move further. Okay, here it is there now. Now it is waiting for CIO approval. Okay, now if we scroll down again and we see Natasha has approved that. Now the approval is to Boragiri again. Okay, now I'll approve it again. Okay, so now the flow, this flow will be followed. Okay, so let me just refresh. Okay, now it will create a catalog task. Okay, the workflow is creating the catalog task. So let me just go here and see the catalog task is automatically created by the workflow. And here we can see that. Okay, so in this way, the workflow will be used. Okay, now let me just open this catalog task. Okay, and I'll just close the catalog task. Okay, and let's see, is there any change in this workflow? Okay, as it has closed complete, it means the standard laptop is in stock and it has followed this way. Okay, and one more catalog task is created. Okay, you see one more catalog task got created. Okay, now I'll close this. I can just right click on it and I can close that. Okay, yeah, I have closed that, and let's go back from here. Okay, here, sorry, let me just refresh this. Okay, it has yeah, the flow has ended here. Okay, first we have approved the request, then the requested item is approved by department head and then CIO approval team, and then two catalog tasks get created. Once the catalog tasks are closed, then the request item is closed. Okay, we can see the state of the requested item, that is closed complete. Okay, so in this way the request can be used. Okay, now let us create one new request. Let me close these all. Okay, let's create a new catalog item. Okay, so in the maintain items module, we can come here. This will open the catalog items. Let me just click on new. Okay, this is, I'll set test catalog item. Okay, and I'll add it to service catalog. Okay, and more category I'll add as choose as hardware. Okay, the same. Okay, let me just save this. Okay, the new catalog item is created now. Now if I click on try it here, okay, now I can see this here. Okay, but there are no fields added. So let me just go back, and if I go to the service catalog, let me just go here to service catalog. Okay, service catalog. I added that to hardware category, right? So I'll just click on hardware. Now I should find that here. Okay, you see test catalog item is here now. Okay, if I click on that, I'm not able to see anything here because we have not added the short description, not the fields. So let's go and add the short description. Short description I'll add as test catalog item. Okay, this is testing catalog item. Okay, okay. No, I can make some of them bold, some of them underlined, italic. So whatever I want, I can do here. Okay, in this HTML field. And if I go and refresh this, see, now I am able to see that here. Okay, now let's go and add the variables. Okay, let's click on variables. Okay, so it's a single line text type. So let's keep it as single line text only. I'll add it as short description. Okay, short description, and the name gets automatically populated. Okay, now we can add the help text here. Let me just add it, always expanded, and I'll say this is help text for short description. Okay, now let me just save it, and I'll refresh this again. Now short description field we should be able to see here. Okay, the short description field is here, and we are able to see this help text, and we clicked on always expanded, that's why it is expanded. Okay, we can expand or collapse this here. Okay, now if I go here and uncheck this always expanded, okay, then on load this is not expanded, this is closed. Okay, then we can expand it based on our requirement. Okay, now I'll keep it as always expanded. Okay, so now we have the catalog item here. Okay, now let me just submit this. Okay, now let me write something here, and I'll just click on order now. Okay, now the request is opened. Okay, and we can see the RITM is created here. Okay, and if I click on show workflow, because on request we have this service catalog request attached, right? Now as the price we have added here is less than 1,000, so let me go to the catalog item again. If we go to pricing, here we see we have not added any price here. Okay, the price is 0, and this workflow what it is checking, if the price is greater than 1,000, it is, if it is less than or equal to 1,000, yes, then don't need for approval. If it is greater than 1,000, then the approval is needed from catalog request approvers. Okay, so in last example where we have ordered the standard laptop, the order the price was greater than 1,000, so that's why it followed this way. Now it is following this way. Okay, that's why it is auto approved. Okay, there are no approvers here, and it is auto approved. Okay, now if we go to RITM, let me open the RITM. Okay, now in the RITM we can see there are no flows attached here. Okay, you see, no, we don't see the show workflow button here, but then also we have got these two catalog tasks here. Okay, now how we have got this, so if we go to the catalog item in the process engine. By default, this execution plan is added. Execution plan default. If we open this, okay, now here we can see that there are two execution plan tasks are added. Okay, access or scope task and provide request service. The same two are added here. Okay, so now what we want is we don't want that. So what we'll do is we will add a flow there. Okay, so let me just go here. Okay, now I'll create a new flow in flow designer. Okay, and that flow will be triggered when I submit that test catalog item. Okay. Okay, the flow designer is open now. Let me click on create new and I'll click on flow. Okay, so I'll say test catalog catalog item flow. Okay, I'll click on submit. Okay, okay, now let's add the trigger to the flow here. Okay, when this flow should be triggered, that condition we need to add here. So there are multiple triggers here when the record is created. For example, when the record is created in the incident table, if I want to add the trigger, then I can use this record updated. Okay, or record created or updated. Okay, so we can add based on record creation or updation, we can trigger the flow here using this triggers. Okay, now daily triggers are there. Okay, schedule triggers are there: daily, weekly, monthly, once, and repeat. Okay, and here we have applications. So this inbound email is when we receive email, that time we want to trigger this flow, we want to process that email, so we can do that here. And this is service catalog, so this is needed for us now, so I will add this. Okay, and once we create this flow, we will take this flow and we will add it to here, in the flow field of the catalog item. Okay, so we have added the trigger now. Let me just click on done. Now, after the trigger is added, we must add the action. Okay, what we need to do. Currently, what we are doing is we are inserting the data in this table. Okay, so let me just go here to Flow Designer and I'll click on action. Okay, so what we are doing is we are getting the short description from where from here, from the variable here, right? This variable, so that we need to fetch first. So there is a action for that, that is get catalog variables. Okay, so this is the activity. uh, so let me just add that. Okay, now it is saying from which record I need to fetch that. Okay, so we need to fetch that from the RITM record, right? So if I go here in the RITM record, we have the variables in this RITM. We have short description, right? I want to fetch this. Okay, so what I'll say is I'll say requested item record. Okay, I'll just drop it here. Okay, now now the flow knows from where to fetch the variables from. Okay, variable value from. Okay, now when I submit the catalog, it creates a request and it creates a requested item. So from that requested item, it will fetch this short description. Okay, now here we need to provide from which catalog item we need to fetch that. Okay, so we need to tell flow that this is the catalog item. Okay, test catalog item which we have created. Okay, yeah, then it will show all the variables in that test catalog item here. Okay, now we have created only one variable, so we have only one, we can see here only one variable, so I'll just pull it to this side. Okay, so we have fetched that now. Okay, now let me click on done. Okay, so in this action, we have received the short description now. Okay, now let me create one more action, that is to insert the record in that table. Okay, so I'll say create record activity. Okay, so I'll just click on this. Okay, now it is asking me in which table we want to create the record. Okay, so I'll say ServiceNow universe YT videos. Okay, in this table we need to add the a record. Okay, a new record, and in which fields we want to add that. Okay, so we have two fields here, a description and we have short description as well here. Okay, sorry, yeah, short description and description both. Okay, yes, so what I will do is I'll add the description that is hard coded. Okay, description, I'll say this record is created from flow designer. Okay, and I'll add the short description. Okay, and now short description should not be hard coded, right? I cannot add something here. Okay, the short description should be we must receive it from here, from this catalog variable. So what I can do is I can click on this data pill picker. If I click on this, I can write the script here. Okay, but scripting part we will not go now, as we are in beginning stage, so we'll not go here. But I can pick the from data pill picker. Okay, now if I click here, then it will show me the previous actions also. Okay, it is showing me the trigger, it is showing me the previous action. So from where we need to fetch this, from previous action. Okay, and what we need to fetch, short description. Okay, now the short description is coming from the requested item record, which is created after the catalog is submitted, and from there we are fetching the short description. It means this RITM is created, and we are fetching this short description, and we are using that to create the new record. Okay, now I'll just simply click on done. Okay, now I'll save the flow here. Okay, now if I don't activate that, then it will not be visible here. So if we go here, let me just click on search, and we see we don't have our flow here in this. So what we need to do is we need to activate that. Okay, so let me just click on activate. Okay, so now let me go here and click on search again, so we can see our catalog, our flow here. Okay, so I'll just select that flow. Okay, as soon as I select the flow, this execution default execution plan is removed. Okay, and I'll save this. Okay, so our catalog item is ready with the flow now. So let's go and submit the uh, catalog. Okay, I'll go to service catalog. Okay, service catalog in self service. Okay, so our catalog item is present in hardware section. So I'll go to hardware category, and if I scroll down here, we have here test catalog item, and I'll write some short description here. Okay, this short description is to test flow designer. Okay, then I'll submit it. Okay, and this request has been created. Let me just open that. Okay, and this RITM is created, so let me open the RITM as well. Okay, so now we can see here the flow context. Okay, earlier when we had the execution plan, default execution plan, we don't see here anything, right? If I go to the previous RITM, here in the related list, we don't have anything. Okay, but as we attach the flow here, we got the flow context. If I click on this flow context, then it will show me where our flow is. Let it reload. Okay, there is some property. Okay, now let me go to this table first. Okay, this white is, let's see whether the new record is inserted or not. Let me refresh this. Yeah, we can see this new record is inserted. Okay, the short description is from the catalog item, and this is the hard coded one. Okay, and we'll see why it is not showing. So let me go to this property. So we have a properties table here. So if I type properties, okay, then let me just scroll down under system definition. Okay, let me just search that, or else I can simply write sys underscore properties dot list. Sys underscore properties is the technical name for properties table. Okay, so I'll open that. Okay, and I'll copy this property name, and I'll put it here. Okay, You see level of reporting generated by the flow engine, it's off. So let's on this and let's see what will happen. So if I double click on the cell, then it will allow me list editing. Okay, after we change, we can just simply click on enter, or we can simply click on the right mark here, this right mark. Okay, okay. Now I'll refresh this again, let's see. Okay, still there is some issue. Let me open the flow context. Okay, so reporting is off here. So let me submit one more catalog item, and then we'll see the flow context for that RITM, because we have enabled the reporting now. Okay, now let me go back from here and let's submit one more short desk 2. Okay, submit. Okay, and this is the RITM which is created, and I'll click on flow context. Yes, so we have enabled the reporting here using this property, and the reporting is enabled, and we can see here. So we can see the trigger is completed. The trigger state is completed as soon as I submitted the catalog item. The trigger is completed, and then fetching the value from the short description from the catalog variables is completed. If I expand this, then it will show me what value is fetched. Okay, short desk 2, we entered short desk 2, right? So that is fetched here. Okay, then creating the record is also completed. Okay, and here we can see it has created the record in this table. Okay, so this is how we can debug here. If for example, if there is there is some issue in the action, then it will show here status as error. Okay, then we can just come here and check what is the error. It will display the error, it will log the error here. Okay, here there are no logs now because this is completed. If there are errors, then it will show the logs here, and then we can just mitigate that error, whatever we fetch the error. Okay, so this is how we can use the flow designer. Okay, now we have seen catalog items. We'll see one more part of that, that is record producers. Okay, now when we submit the catalog item, it creates the records in the request and requested items table. Okay, but now I want to create the record in some other tables, any other table. So that time I can use record producers. By the name itself, it suggests that it creates the records in the tables. Okay, so let's see the record already which is present here. So let me go to service catalog. Okay, and under self-service, let me go to service catalog here. Okay, and how this is, there is a category called can we help you. Okay, so now in this let me create an incident. Okay, okay, so I'll add urgency as. Okay, so I'll add the urgency as high, and I'll say my laptop is not working, is not working. Okay, so I can submit here. Okay. So when I submit, so it has given me the search results as well. So if you want, if your laptop is not working, then if you want to buy a new laptop or what, so it is showing me that. But it has redirected me to the created record. You see the short description is added as my laptop is not working and urgency is high here. Okay, now where that is stored, that is stored in the record producers table. Record producers. Okay, so let me just open record producers. So if I'll just configure and table here, I'll just do that, and we can see this is the child of the catalog item itself. Okay, so we have created the catalog item right earlier. We have created it in this table. Okay, now this record producer is child of its table itself. What it means, so all the fields from the catalog item are borrowed, and in the record producer we can see the fields from the catalog item. Okay, So let me create a new catalog item, sorry, record producer. So where we'll create the record, we'll create the record in our table. Okay, create. So last time we created it from flow designer, now we'll create it from record producer. Okay, create YT video record. Okay, and then here I'll select the table ServiceNow universe. Okay, YT videos. I'll select this and I will save this. Yeah. So here also I can give the description and short description. So yeah, I'll just write the short description here, and in the description also we can write anything. Creating the YT video record using record producer. Okay, so let me just save this. And it is asking me after we submit where should we go. So it redirects us to generated task record. Okay, so the record which is generated, it will redirect us to there. Okay, so let me just click on save. Okay, and here if I scroll down, okay, I have variables again. So I'll just click on new. I'll create the new variable. Okay, I'll add the field as short desk. Okay, now here we can see one field called map to field. Okay, what it means is uh, value from this field should be mapped to what field of the target table. So our target table is the ServiceNow universe videos. This is the target table, right? uh, and it is asking me what the short description should go into which field. So we'll say it should go to short description field. Okay, I'll save this. Now this we have done in a flow designer, right, earlier. Now we are doing it in record producer directly. Okay, now this has selected. Let me just go back. Yeah, I can access this by clicking on try it here. Okay, so I'll just click on try it. Okay, I can see here the short description and the description and the field which I have added. Okay, now I'll add testing. So let me open the table first. OIT videos. Okay, so we have 3 records here now. Let me add testing record producer. Okay, and I'll submit this. Okay, you see it has redirected me to that record. And if I go to this table and if I refresh, then it has added the new record here. Okay, so this is how we can use the record producers to add the records in any table. Okay, now the record is added here in this table, right? So we want to do some logic here. You want to process some logic, so we can create a flow again. Okay, going to flow designer, we can add the trigger as when the record is inserted in this table. That time, if I want to uh, do some processing, then we can do that using flow designer, or else we can do that using the business rules as well, and we'll discuss the business rules at the end. Okay, what are business rules? Okay, now we are done with service catalog. So let's see notifications. Now, what are notifications? We need if you want to send the email, okay, then we can use this notifications here, notifications module in ServiceNow. Okay, so let me go here, and in the filter navigator, again there is a table for this notifications. So I'll just simply type in notifications here. Okay, and I'll scroll down under system notification, email, and notifications we have. So let me just open the notifications table. Okay, so I'll simply create a new one. Okay, so we can give some name here. Okay, so I'll say test email. Okay, and table on which table we want to send this email to, right? So what we'll do is we'll add our YT videos table here. Okay, this is the table. Okay, and now there are three sections here: when to send it, and who will receive it, and what it will contain. Okay, so first one is there are three options here in this. Okay, send when. So here first, when the record is inserted or updated, or when the event is fired, or when the triggered event is triggered. Okay, we'll see all these three. So first let's see this record inserted or updated. Okay, now we are saying when the record is inserted, that time if I want to send the email, then I'll just simply say insert it. Okay, when the record is updated, that time I want to send, then I'll check this. Okay, now what is the condition? Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just say when short description starts with test, then only I want to send it. Okay, if short description starts with some other word, then it should not start. It should not trigger the email. Okay, so let's see will that work or not. Okay, now who will receive that? Okay, here the users we can select. If I search for this, it will go to the users table. Okay, and I can select the users here. So I'll select table tutor for example. Okay, and here I can select the groups. Okay, to which group we want to send. Okay, so let me select some group, cab approval for example. Okay, and here I can select the users or groups in the fields. Okay, what it means is in this table, if there is any field which is storing the group or a user information, then we can select that. But if we go here, we don't have any field like short description and description field don't store any uh, user or uh, group here. Okay, so I can add created by for example. Okay, so the one who is created, send it to him. Okay, so now let me go to what it will contain. Okay, here we have to add the subject. So what subject I'll add? The YT video record starts with test is created. Okay, so I'll add same here. Okay, hello, and I'll add this. I'll add thanks. Okay, so I'll just save this. So now what we said, this we have created the notification for YT videos table, and what we are saying is this should be triggered when uh, the record is inserted or updated both. Okay, and when it should be triggered when the short description starts with test. Okay, so now let's see and let's go to the table YT videos. Okay, let me open the table. Okay, so we can the record can be created from anywhere, like record can be created from a record producer. Okay, or the record can be created from the flow. Okay, or we can create the manual record. In any case, this email notification gets triggered. Okay, so let me create it manually now. So here I'll say test email notification. Okay, and here I'll say test. So as the short description is starting with test, it should trigger. Okay, so now let me just save this. Okay, so now in record is inserted. So let me go here, and here what I can type is emails. Okay, emails under system logs, emails is there because in the PDI in the dev environment we don't need to enable the emails, right? Otherwise the test emails will be triggered to the actual person. So the email sending is not triggered here. So we can check that in one more table, that is this emails table. So if I open this. Okay, so here I can see all the emails which are triggered. Okay, and the type of them as well. So I'll just sort it by Z to A. Okay, so you see here, this is our email, right? That has been triggered here. Okay, and we can see the approver. This is the let me open the record. Okay, so now it has shown me which notification has triggered. Test email notification, which we have created. This is the test email notification which is triggered here. Okay, and so here the subject is added and body is added here. We'll see the body, but the recipients we can see here, this recipient is from these recipients are from cab group, I think. Okay, and it is sent to able tutor as well. Okay, so if I scroll down at the bottom, I have option to preview the email how it looks. Okay, so I can just simply click on preview email. Okay, it is looking like this. Okay, so when it is sent to the actual person in his inbox, he'll see it like this. Okay, so the mail has triggered now. Okay, so let me just close this, and we can preview the email in the list view as well. Just right click on the record and we can click on preview email. Okay, that time also it will preview here. Okay, okay. So now let's see how many records we have. We have 15 records here now. So what we'll do is now we'll update the record. Okay, test email notification to. Now I'll just save this again. Okay, and I'll refresh. So these are 15 now. Those should change to 16, because yes, the condition is matching, because our short description is still starting with test and we have updated the record. So these conditions are matching. The record is updated and the short description is starting with test, then we should trigger this. Okay, and it has triggered here. We have received the email again. Now what we'll do is we'll remove the test from here. Okay, and I'll just save this. Okay, now we have 16 records here, but here what is happening is the record is updated, that is correct, but the short description, this condition is not matching. Short description starts with test. Here the short description is not starting with text test, so the mail will not trigger now. So if I refresh, I'll not be able to see the mail. There are 16 records only. Okay, so this is how the first condition we can use. Okay, let me go here in when to send. We can use this. Okay, now the second is when event is fired. Okay, so what we are saying is when some event is fired, that time what we have to do is we have to trigger this email. Now we have to create the event. For example, let me just go here. Here I need to type registry. Okay, and let me scroll down here in the system policy, events and registry. I need to register the event first. Okay, which I want to fire. Okay, now here it is showing these events, those are all out of the box events. Okay, which service now use somewhere to trigger them. Okay, so now we'll create our own event. Okay, I'll just click on registry and I'll click on new. I'll say test event. Okay, and the other fields are not mandatory, so we don't want other fields, so I'll just save this. Okay, and here you see when I changed the send when to event is fired, this table is non-mandatory now. Okay, we don't want this table because it is not dependent on table now. Okay, if I make it back again, record inserted or updated, then it is mandatory. Okay, we have to tell which table is updated or which table is inserted, which table record is inserted. We have to mention this is mandatory, but when it is event is fired, it is not mandatory, and for triggered as well, it is not mandatory. Okay, so let's see event is fired now. Okay, now we have created one event. This is test event, so that should be available in this list now. Okay, so let's refresh the page first. Okay, now this is event is fired, and here I can search test event. So I have test event here. Okay, and I'll just remove this condition. I don't want this condition now. Okay, so I'll save this. Now what we are saying is when the event is triggered. Okay, when this event is triggered, that time we want to fire this trigger this notification. And how the event will be fired, using the script. Okay, so here to try out that, we can use this scripts background. So here we can try the server side scripts. Okay, so there is a function here called gs.eventqueue. Okay, gs.eventqueue, it it takes the you can see here gs.eventqueue. First is it takes the mm, event name. Okay, so what is our event name? That is test dot event. Okay, and the second parameter it takes is the glide record object. Okay, we'll see what is glide record object and uh, in the business rules at the end. Okay, and I'll give you one video I have made on glide record, so I'll attach that in the description so you can look at the glide record, because we are not going in much detail in scripting part. So I'll share that video link. Okay, so here it takes the object glide record object. Okay, but we don't have any glide record object with us now. So what we'll do is we'll get one glide record object first. So what we'll do is we'll here gr yt videos. Okay, so I want to query this table. Let me just go and open yt videos. Okay, so I want to query this table because I want to pass the glide record object, right? So I want to pass any one record from the script. Okay, that's why it is not mandatory here. Okay, the table is not mandatory here because the table glide record object we are passing it from the script include. Okay, and for any table we can pass that. Okay, so currently what we'll do is we'll query this. So how to query that? First we need the technical name of the table. Okay, I'll copy it from the URL. Okay, now what I'll do is gryt videos. This is variable. We can give anything here, but best practice is it should start with gr. Gr is nothing but glide record, and then what it is doing. What is the table name? Basically gryt videos. Then new. Okay, and then glide record. Okay, and then glide record, and in the brackets we need to pass the table name. So this is the table name. Okay, okay, and then gr YT videos. Now we have to add the query date. I want to fetch only one record. Okay, I want to fetch, for example, this record, only this record. So what I'll do is gr YT videos dot add query. It's like, for example, let me just copy this. It's like we are adding the query here in the filter. Okay, how to use the filters? I can click on this filter icon here, and then I'll say short description. Okay, short description starts with or is, I'll say is short desk 2. Okay. So now this query is added here. Now we are able to see only one record here, right? So what I can do is I can just right click on this and I can copy the query. Okay. So let me copy the query, and here I am adding the query here. Okay. Gryt videos dot add query. Okay. The same query we need to add, which we have copied from here. Right click and copy query, and that query will add here. So this is the technical name of the field. Short description is equal to short description here, short desk 2. Okay, so we have added that query, and now gr yt videos. Now we have added the query, right? After adding the query, what we did here, so we added the query and we clicked on run. Okay, then this record is received, right? So what we have to do is run the query. Okay, so first we queried the table. It means we opened the table, then we added the query. We added the query here in the filter. Okay, we added the query, then we clicked on this run. Okay, so these are the three steps. We opened the table, we added the query, we clicked on run. Okay, and then now to fetch this record, right? So I opened this record, for example. Okay, right? So I opened the record and I'm able to see the fields now. So what we have to do here for that is, if I'm opening the record now. Okay, gr videos dot next. What I'm saying is, if there is any record matching with this condition, then I want to see that record. Okay, then I'll see, uh, I'll add the if condition here like this. Okay, and gs.eventqueue I'll add inside that. Okay, so what I'm saying is, I have queried this, I have added the filter like this, I clicked on run, and I opened the record. Now record is present. Now we have this gryt videos is nothing but the glide record object, which is gs.eventqueue is expecting in the second parameter. Okay, so I'll add this here. Okay, so these are the two parameters which are required by gs.eventqueue function. Okay, the other two parameters are there, param1 and param2. For now we can ignore that. Okay, now we are ready to proceed. Okay, now when I run the script here, it will process this. Okay, it will process this and it will open that record and it will trigger the event. Okay, now let me go to emails again, refresh this page. This should be still 16. Yeah, these are still 16. So let me just run this, run script. Okay, the script is triggered. Now let me refresh this. So we have 16. Let me refresh it again. Yeah, you see now it became 17. Okay, and the email is triggered here now. Okay, email is triggered using the events. Okay, so now we have seen here two conditions, send when. Okay, one is when the record is inserted, updated, then event is fired. Okay, now let's see triggered. Okay, now there is nothing here. Okay, and not we are checking it when the record is created or updated, nor we are sending we are firing any event. Okay, now this is triggered. So how to trigger this now? Okay, so we can trigger this from flow designer. So let me just go to flow designer. The existing flow will open. Okay, let me just have this flow designer. Okay, and I'll open the flow designer. Let me close these records. Okay, so here I'll open the flow which we have created, that is test catalog flow. Okay, okay, so now what we are doing is we are fetching the variables, we are creating the new record in that table. Now after the record is created, I want to send the notification, for example. Okay, so there is a activity called send notifications. Okay, let me add that. Send notification. Now it is asking me the table and the record. Okay, I need to pass the table and the recorded because this test email we have written on table here. Okay, so we have mentioned table, that's why it is visible only when we provide that table. For example, so I need to add the record, right? So which is the record now? Okay, so I can again click on data pill picker, the record which is created using create record activity, and I can just do this. Okay, so now it has selected that record and it has populated the table here. Okay, now for this table, how many emails are there, it will show here. Okay, there is only one email for that table. Okay, so let's just click on test email. Okay, so now we have selected email and the condition here is when it is triggered. Okay, so what we are doing is we are triggering it from the flow designer. Okay, so now let me just click on save. Done. Now click on save and let me click activate. I'll click on activate. Okay, now let me go here and go to service catalog again to submit the catalog item. So our catalog is there in the hardware test catalog item, and I'll click on test. Okay, now here if we see, if I refresh this page, how many 17 emails are there? Okay, now when I trigger this should become 18. Okay, the test, and I'll click on order now. Okay, there is a flow running in background that has created the record in the YT videos table. After that, the flow designer is sent, right? Okay, so let me, the flow designer sends the email. Right? So let me refresh this. Okay, you see here there are 20 now. Okay, this is out of the box email when the request is created, and this is the email which is received. Okay, you can just hover over here. You can see that is triggered just now. Okay, and if I right click and preview email, so uh, I can see the body here. Okay, so this is how we can send the email uh, using these three options. Okay, record inserted, updated, event is fired, triggered. Okay, now what I will do is I'll remove this table and I'll make this none. Let's see what change happen on uh, flow designer side. None, and I'll just Save this. Okay. Now this email is not dependent on any table. Okay. So let me add one more action here. The same action, send notification, just for checking. Send notification. Okay. I'll delete this action. Okay. We don't want that now. I'll delete this. Okay. Now this is the new action here. So we have not added any table and any record, and if I click on the notifications here, I can see test email now. Okay. Earlier this is not visible until and unless we add the table here. Okay. Now this is visible because there is no table added in the notification section there. In the notifications table field. Okay. So now I have selected that here without any table and record. Now I'm clicking on done. Okay. And I'll save and I'll activate. Now we can trigger this for any table. There is no restriction to trigger it for YT videos table only. Okay. Yeah. If I submit the catalog again, service catalog, hardware, test catalog item, and I'll anything and just click on order now. Okay. Now let me just refresh this. There are 20 now. After this, it should be 22. Yeah, there are 22. And the recent one is here, this one. Okay, this is 2 minutes ago. Okay, let me just refresh it again. Yeah, here it is. Okay, this is the recent one which is triggered. Okay, so this is how we can use the notifications. Okay, so we have covered notification now. Okay, and while discussing the tables, we have discussed the access controls as well. Okay, access controls are very, very important, but we will not go much in detail in the access controls. Okay, now the next is data import from the Excel. Okay, now if we have data in the Excel, for example, this YT videos, we have short description and description field, and this data is there in the Excel, then how can we load that into ServiceNow table? Okay, that part we'll see here now. Okay. Okay, so this is the Excel sheet we have where we have short description here and description, and we have the short description at testing import, and this is importing data from Excel. Okay, we load this Excel sheet into the YT videos table. Okay, okay. Now to load the Excel, we have to go to the filter navigator again, and we need to type here load data. Okay, then under system import sets, we have load data module. Just need to click on that. Okay, then it will give us option to select the uh, file. Okay, so it is asking me the staging table. For example, the data from the Excel is not directly go to the target table. Which is the target table? Let me just open that table. YT videos. Okay, so this is our target table. What we want is we want to insert the data in short description and description field here. Okay, but that will not directly go to that table. It will create a staging table between Excel sheet and the target table. Okay, so that staging table's name we have to provide here. So let me just add here YT videos. Okay, import. Okay, ServiceNow will create a new table here. Okay, that is the import set table we say. Okay, and we can call it as a staging table. Okay, now it is asking me to select the file. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just select the file here. YT videos Excel. So I had selected that Excel, and it is asking me the sheet number. Okay, in the Excel, if there are multiple sheets, then which sheet we want to load. So we have only one sheet, and we are loading the sheet number one itself. Okay, and header row. It is asking me the header row. So whatever is there in the header, that it will consider as fields in this table. Okay, so we'll just copy the name of this. Okay, we'll copy this name. Okay, and we are saying header row is first. Okay, so we had only two rows. One is header row and one more is data row. So header row will say that as one. Okay, now I'll submit this. Okay, so we'll come back here again, but we'll go to that import set table. Okay, the table which is created. So I'll just do dot list. So we see that table is opened here. Okay, now what I'll do is those two fields are also added, short description and description. And from where these are added, these are received from the Excel. Okay, this is the in the header row we had these two, right? Short description and description. So it has created those two as fields here. Okay, now let me just click on OK. Okay, and the data is also received in that. The data from the Excel sheet is received in this staging table. Okay, but the data is not reached to this table yet. Okay, we had I think 7 records, and we have 7 records still. We don't have this record here. Testing import. To we need to transform the data from this staging table, YT videos imports table, to YT videos table. This is the target table. Okay, we call this as a source table, and this is the target table. Okay, now to transform that, after we load the data, we have to create the transform map. Okay, so let me just click on transform map. Okay, now we can give some name here. We'll say YT videos transform. Okay, now how to provide the target table. The source table is already taken, that is the import set table which is created, that is this. Okay, and we have the data there. Now we have to provide the target table, which is the target table the data should be loaded into. Okay, so that is YT videos. Okay, service now YT videos. Now I will save this. Okay, so now we have told that the data should go from this table to this table. Okay, but we have not told yet that the data from short description field should go to short description, and description field should go to description. That we have not told, right? So for that we have here mapping assist. Okay, so we can click on auto map matching fields. So what it will do is, if the field names are same, here you can see short description, description, and here also the field names are same exactly, short description and description. So that time we can just click on auto map matching fields, so it will automatically match. Okay, and it will create the field maps. So let me just click on this. Okay, so you see the field maps are automatically created. The short description field is linked to description field, and a short description field is linked to short description field, because the labels were same. If the labels are different, then we can match on our own using mapping assist. So if I click on mapping assist, this will open. Okay, here we can match the fields. Okay, the fields from the target table, these are the fields from the source table, we can match it. Okay, if I want short description to be inserted into description, and description to be inserted into short description, then I can just change that here. Okay, so I can just do this. Now the short description value will go to description, and description value will go to short description field. Okay, so we can do the mappings here in this way. Okay, now let me just click on save. Yeah. So once we do that, the field maps are added. Now we are clear that the data from the source table should go to target table, and the field mappings are here. Description should go to description. Short description should go to short description. Now there are transform scripts as well. We can write the scripts to transform the data from source to the target table, but we'll not see that for now. Okay, and here we have one field called coalesce. Okay, what it means is, for example, if from the if in future, if from the Excel we load the same data again, testing import as the I think this is testing import, right? So testing import as the short description, if it is coming in future again, then we don't want to insert a new record, we want to update the same existing record, then we'll make it as coalesce true. So it means it will not allow to create duplicate records. Okay, it will just check whether the short description which is received in the source table is already present in the target table. Then just update the record, don't insert the new record. Okay, coalesce will do that, and I will save it again. Okay, now we have loaded the data. The data is there in the source table, and data is there in the target table, and data is there in the target table. So let me just close this. Yeah, data is there in the target table. Now we need to transform that. We have the field maps as well, we have to transform. So there is a related link here called transform, so just click on transform. Okay, okay, now we have only one transform map, that's why one transform map is here. So we are transforming. But if there are multiple transform map for the same table, then those are all will be listed here. We can choose whichever we want in the right side, and we can trigger them. Okay, so but we have only one now, so I'll just click on transform. Now this is success. Okay, and now I will go, there are 7 records here. I'll refresh now. The records are 8 now. Okay, and we can see testing import is added here, and importing test data is also added here. Okay, now if I refresh this page, okay, it has updated the target table and the target record. Okay, you see target table is YT videos, and the target record is this, which is created. Okay, this record. Okay, if I control click on this, control click, so it will open that record, testing import and importing the data from Excel. Okay, and the state has changed to inserted. Okay, so as a developer or as an administrator, if you want to test it again, okay, if you want to test it again by changing the data here, for example, what I'll do is I'll do testing import 2. Okay, here I change the data in the source table. We don't want to load the Excel again for testing purpose. Then I can change the data in the source table. Now this is already inserted, so I can open the set. Okay, now I have changed the data. Okay, I can open the set. I can click on reprocess. So what it will do, it will reprocess the data again with the updated data what we have added here. So we can see there are 8 records now here. Okay, when I click on reprocess, it will ask me again to transform. Okay, just click on the transform, and again we have the list of available transform maps. So we have only one, so I'll just click on transform again. Okay, now I have made test import 2, right? So I'll just simply click refresh this, test import 2 is added. Okay, now we have added the coalesce as well, right? So we can test the coalesce. So let me just refresh this. Okay, now we'll keep this as test import 2 itself. Okay, uh, and I'll change this description. Description is testing coalesce. Okay, so now what should happen, because testing import 2 is already present here, testing import 2 is already present, then what we have said, we have added the coalesce con short description. So testing 2 import 2 is already present in the target table, then it should update this record instead of inserting a new record. So it will just change the description. Okay, because the description is changed here. Okay, so let me open the set again. Again I can click on reprocess. Okay, I can click on transform. Okay, I'll transform this. Now we can see there are 9 records. If I refresh this, okay, the testing import to description is changed to testing coalesce. Okay, so this is how coalesce is used. Okay, so this is how we can load the data into the data using the Excel. Okay, now next are update sets. Okay, now let me remove these all tabs. Now what are update sets? These changes, for example, we have created this transform map, we have created the import set table. These all changes, if I want to move to the other instance, okay, then we can use that update sets. Okay, for example, here if I go and type update sets, okay, then I can see the local update sets here. Okay, and we have the update set picker here as well. Okay, so here if I click, then this is the application picker. If I want to choose some other application, then I can choose it here, but the by default it is global application. Okay, and the update set selected is the global update set. So I can just click on here simply, and here I can click on this open record. So when I open the record, okay, because the update set selected is default now. Okay, by default the update set is selected as default. Now all the records are capturing it. Now let me just sort it by created. So you see the field maps which we have added are captured here. The transform map which we have added is captured. Okay, this is the table, import table we have added, that is also captured here. Okay, now this is the default update set. This is not used to we cannot move the data from here to the next instance, because this is the trash. Okay, here all garbage data is inserted. Okay, now to create the new local update set, what we can do is we can go to local update sets table. Okay, I can simply click on new. Okay, I can click on new, and I can create here. Okay, this is one way. The other way which is added in the Vancure release is just go here, go to the update set which is already present, and here you have a plus icon. Okay, just click on that plus icon. Okay, now you can create the new update set. So what we'll do is I'll say uh, new table. Okay, so I'm capturing a new table in this, for example. Now if I just make it submit, if I just submit it, then this will be added to the table, but it will not become the current update set. But if I click on submit and make it current, then it will make it current update set. Okay, so now we have made that current and update set. So if I click on this, you see the update set is changed. Earlier it was default, now it is a new table. Okay, and if I go here and just click on this, open the that update set, then I cannot see any record added here because we have not added anything here. Okay, anything here yet. Yeah, so what I'll do is, because this is new table update set, so I'll go here to tables. Okay, I'll open the tables. As we are adding a new table, I'll simply click on new test table for update sets. Okay, I'll simply submit. Okay, now if I go here and just refresh this, okay, you see 16 updates got captured. Okay, and different types. The module is captured because we did not uncheck that, right? Create module. So module is created, application menu is created, the role is automatically created, 4 access controls are created. Okay, the access roles are added to the access controls. Okay, and here the field label is created. Okay, by default the collection field gets created, so that field is there, and the table is created. Okay, so these are all captured now. Now if you want to move this update set to other instance, now how we can move that? So what we can do is we can simply click on state complete. Here you notice we don't have any anything to export the update set, but once I complete this, once I change the state to complete, I get this option export to XML. Okay, now I can simply click on this. Okay, this gets downloaded in our instance. Okay, this gets downloaded in our PC, and then what we can do is to we can go to some other instance where we want to import that. So we can go to retrieved update sets. Okay, there is option called retrieved update sets. Okay, here there is a related list at the backend. Import the update set from XML. Okay, earlier we have exported, right? This you consider this as a new instance, different instance. So I can just simply click on this. I can choose the uh, I can choose the file which is imported. Okay, sorry, which is exported. Okay, now I can choose the file. I can upload. Let me just do that. Let me export this. Okay, I'll export it. Okay, I exported that. Now I'll go to retrieved update sets. Okay, I'm doing this on the same instance, but this can be done on other instance as well. Now I'll simply go here and I'll select the update set which is exported. Now I'll click on upload. Okay, now when I upload, that gets added to the retrieved update set table. Okay, now I can open the record. Okay, you can see the state is loaded. Okay, it is not yet committed here. Okay, the state is loaded. Now I need to click on preview update set. First we need to check whether there is any issue there in the records which are captured. Okay, so I'll just simply click on preview update set. If it is if there are no issues, then it will show there are no issues. If there are issues, then it will show here in the below. There is one extra tab gets added that shows what are all the issues. Okay, then we need to fix those issues before committing the update set. We'll not get the commit update set button until and unless we fix the issues. But currently we don't have any issues, that's why we got the commit update set button. So I'll simply click on commit update set. Okay, now the update set is committed and the changes which we did in the other instance are moved to this instance, for example. Okay, okay, the retrieved update set is committed. Okay, so this is how we can use the update sets. There is one more way to move the update sets, that is using update sources. Okay, if I click on update sources here, okay, under system update sets I have update sources. So what I can do is, instead of exporting the update set to XML, and importing it in the other instance, will ask the instance to do it. Okay, what I can do here is I can add the remote instance, for example, some other dev instance, for example, say dev 1234. Okay, dev 123 is the instance, and from there we can add the URL of that. For example, dev123 dot servicenow.com. Okay, this is the URL for that instance. For example, we need to provide the admin username and admin password here. Okay, and yeah, and let me just add something, admin, admin. Okay, and I need to click on save. Okay, so okay, it is unable to validate the connection here. Okay, so let me add this instance only for now. Let's see, we can add the different instance here. Okay, okay, now let me save this. Same instance it is not taking. Okay, so once we add the other instance, I don't have other instance now, but once we add the other instance, that time okay, I think let me just check. Yeah, I have this instance, let me just add this. Okay, okay, yeah, okay, now this is available. So this is added. Now I can click on test connection. Okay. Now connection is okay. Now there is a connection established between this instance and this instance. Okay. Now what are all the completed update sets on that instance? Those will be received here. Okay. We don't need to export it and store it in our PC and then import it from there. Once I click on retrieve update sets, okay, this will start retrieving the update sets from those that instance. Okay, now you see from this instance the update set are being imported, and if I see here, the retrieved update sets are added here. Okay, now I can open this update set and commit this here again. Okay, the preview is automatically done by system itself. That's why the state is previewed, but I can click on commit update set to commit that. Okay, same in the same way which uh, we have done earlier. Okay, so this is how we can use the update sets. Okay. Okay, so we have covered update sets now. The last part is the business rules, client scripts, and UI policies in this course. Okay, so let me go to business rules. Business rules. Okay, under system definition, we have option for business rules here. Now I'll just open that. Okay, okay. Now let me just click on new. Okay, now we have triggered the notification, right? In the same way, we can trigger a business rule where I can add some logic. Okay, for example, when the YT videos record is created, I want to insert record in some other table, for example. Okay, so that part I can do, or I want to log some message. Okay, so let's log a message here. Okay, now I'll say log message. Okay, okay, now I'll select the table that is YT videos. Okay, I want to write that on YT videos table. Okay, now I'll if I click on advanced, okay, then it will ask me there are four types of business rules: before, after, async, and display. Okay, what is before means before we add the data to database. Okay, before the data is being added to database, this business rule runs. Okay, it performs the operations before the data is being added to database. Okay, after means after the data is added to database. Async means it is exactly same as after, but this runs async. Okay, this will not immediately trigger. This will trigger when the system is free. Okay, but after business rule will trigger immediately. Okay, the display business rule will run when the form is loaded. Okay, basically here display business rule is used to store some server side data in the scratchpad, and that scratchpad is used in the client script. Okay, but you can ignore that for now. That is not needed for the entry level. Okay, okay, now I'll select after insert. Okay, after the record is added to the database. Okay, and I'll say short description. starts with test. When the short description starts with test, that time we need to trigger. Okay, in the advanced part we are not doing anything because this is we need to add the scripting here, so we'll write something in the actions here. Okay, now what I'll do is when the short description starts with a test, I want to change the description here. I'll write short desk started with test. Okay, and I'll add one message here, record inserted. Okay, so now let me save this. Okay, let me create a new record now. Okay, I'll set test 123 and in the description I'll add test. Okay, now let me just save this. Okay, you see the record inserted is added here. Okay, uh, okay, and this is from this business rule. Okay, record inserted is added. Okay, I added some test business rule before this, so that is also shown up here. But what we can see here, description is not changed. Okay, we wanted to change the description to this, right? But the description is not changed because this is mandatory field. Okay, and we have already added the data to it. If this is not mandatory, then the data would have been changed here. Okay, and as we are doing only, as we are using only action, right? We are not using advanced ones, so we can just uncheck this advanced. Okay, and we can just use insert, and we can use the actions here. Okay, in this way also we can use this. So basically business rules are of four types: before, insert, before, after, async, and display business rules. And we can use them to trigger some logic after the record is inserted or updated or deleted, or when it is queried. Okay, when the record is queried, that time also we can trigger the business rule. Okay, okay, now we'll discuss the client scripts. Okay, now let's go here and type in client scripts. Okay, under system definition, we have client scripts. Again, this is a table, so we can create the new client script. Okay, now there are four types of client scripts here: on sell edit, on change, on load, on submit. Okay, so what it means is, let me just open a new form of this what videos. So on sell edit, so when we add something here, right? So like I entered two times here GG, so that time if we add the cell edit type, it has triggered two times here. Okay, when we edit the cell, that time it triggers. Okay, on change, when the field is changed. For example, I added something here, then I clicked out outside, so now this field has changed. Okay, so on change of the field, it will trigger. Okay, on load, when the page is loaded. On submit, when we submit the record. Okay, or we save the record. Okay, that time it will trigger. There are four here. Okay, so let's see on load. Okay, we'll create a on load. Okay, show message. Okay, here. Okay, so we can write the here we can write the code here. So to show the message, we have simply one thing here: g underscore form dot add error message or info message. Okay, so I'll add error message just for example. Okay, insert record with short description starting record short description should start with test. Okay, so let me just save this. Now what I'll do is let me go back. I'll click on new. Now I have created the client script, right? So okay, I did not select the table, that's why. So let me just select YT videos. Let me just save this. Okay, now let me go back again and I'll click on new. Now the onload business rule is triggered and it has shown me sorry, onload client script is triggered and it has shown me this message here. Okay, we have added this message on load. Okay, so when if I want to add it, if I just change it on change, then it is asking me on change of what field you want to show that. Okay, so I'll say on change of short description, I want to say that I want to display that message. So okay, so I need to remove this first. Okay, because so when I did onload, right, when I selected the type onload, so it has added the onload function here. Okay, but when I change it to on change, it should add different function. So let me select onload and let me select on change now. Okay, okay, once. Let me select on load, and I'll remove this, and I'll select on change now. Okay, the on change function is added. Okay, now I will add the error message here. G underscore form dot add error message. Okay, and I'll add the new value which is already passed here. Okay, so it will print the new value which is there in that field. Okay. Now let me refresh this page. I'll set test. So the test is the new value which is shown here. Test2, test2 is shown. Okay, so this is how we can use the client scripts. Okay, now next is UI policies. uh, Let me go to UI policies here. Okay, system UI policies. Let me go and create a new one. Now, for example, when we load the page, right? So that time I want to make the short description mandatory. For example, it is not mandatory now. I want to make the short description mandatory, then I can do that. Okay. So I need to select the table again. Let's add some short description here. Test UI policy, for example. UI policy, and I will save this. Okay, we can add the condition here as well. So currently we'll not add that. And in the UI policy action, we can define what we need to do. Okay, we have defined the UI policy. Now in the UI policy action, we need to define uh, here. Okay, now what I have selected, short description field, it should be mandatory. Okay, and it should be visible. Okay, it should okay. So I'll just do this and I'll submit this. Okay, now what I told on load of the page. Okay, this field should be mandatory. You see, the short description was not mandatory earlier, but now this is mandatory. Okay, now I'll go here again and I'll open the UI policy. Okay, what I'll do is I'll remove the mandatory. Okay, and I'll make visible false. Okay, so what it means is just hide that field. Okay, okay, you see that field is hidden. Okay, and if I want to make that field read only, then I can make that using a read only option here. Okay, let me do this. Okay, so client scripts and UI policies both work on the client side. Okay, on the browser side, and you business rules work on the server side. Okay, to make any changes we can use UI policies and client scripts, but if there is scripting involved, then we'll use client scripts. If there is no scripting and we want to just make the field mandatory, or hide the field or show the field or make the field read only, then we can use the UI policies in this way. Okay, so this is all about this course. Okay, we have covered a personal developer instance, user interface, tables, list and form layouts, user impersonation, workspace plugins, service catalog, notifications, access controls, data import from Excel, update sets, and business rules, client script, and UI policies. Okay, so please, if you like this video, then please share your comments, and if you have any issues or any questions, then please add it to comments, then I'll try to answer that. And please subscribe the channel for more videos like this. Thank you.